Hi, this is Jim, the Keys bartender, coming to you from Key Largo in the Catch Restaurant here with Bill.
Hey, how you all doing?
Bassman Bill Wissinger. It's a beautiful day.
It's a gorgeous day.
It is a gorgeous day, and it's Key Largo once again, and we're in the mid of. It's freezing up north. We're not going to say what day it is, but it's freezing up there, and I think right now we're hitting around 78, 79 degrees.
Yeah, I think it might even got to 80 today.
Maybe got to 80. Yep.
Gorgeous day. Couldn't ask for nicer.
It's one of those days where if you walk out with shorts and a shirt, you should always have your pants on, just for propriety's sake. And I think if you have socks on, and I'm wearing socks today, it's too hot.
Are you wearing socks?
Well, I got to wear socks when I'm working. I bartend, hence the Keys Bartender Show. I'm not just saying I'm a bartender. I'm an active bartender in Key Largo at the Catch Restaurant. And once again, I know there's a lot of snowbirds that be listening. And listen, if you everyone could do it. Later on, I'm going to talk about Patreon at the end of the show. But if you like the show, could you please share it with your friends and like it? That's the best thing you do to promote it and bring it along.
That's fantastic.
And if you do come down here, drop us a line. I'm going to remind you again. Drop us a line that you're going to be here. We'd be happy to have you on the show, or you can be a guest here at the Catch. And we are going to start doing shows. We have done shows at different places. We're going to start doing it at different locations, and we'll make sure that we post those online. But I'll talk about Patreon later. We're at the Catch Restaurant. It's happy hour from 3:30 to 6:30, Monday through Friday. I like to give them this pitch, not only because I work here, it's because they're kind enough to put us up, and they give us free drinks here when we're doing this.
They do. And the happy hour, even if they're not giving us free drinks, the happy hour is fantastic.
Yeah, down here, obviously, if you go to certain places.
What is that, $2 Bud drafts?
$2 Bud drafts, $2 Miller Lite. It may not sound like a really great deal if you're in Philadelphia or Cleveland or Podunk, wherever you're from. Yeah. But for the Keys, you could easily go to places. There's a place
I got charged $6 for a draft beer.
$6 for a draft beer. A draft domestic beer.
A Bud Light.
A Bud Light.
I got charged $6 for a Bud Light, and it wasn't even not even a big glass.
What was it, 12 ounce?
Yeah, maybe.
12 ounce. You know what? I don't know how many you got in there, but it's a hell of a lot. Oh boy, they're making money hand over fist for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, people, they just have this feeling of a premium location. You're gonna have to feel out pricing. I want to talk about that sometime, about doing what you need to do in order to become profitable. Right now, we're doing a show kind of gratis, but we hope someday that we'll be able to bring in some sponsors and things like that, so we can do more shows, bring have live call-ins and do a little more things, and actually have a music. My dream would be to have a band.
Well, we can always work out a band.
No. I know. I want to do it. I want to pay them. I want to pay the band. They would do it, but I want them to be happy to be doing it, and I'd like to do the show, and then we could probably do a live feed for video on Facebook and things like that. So, kind of like a sociopathic prairie home companion in the Keys, where we curse a lot, say dick, balls, fuck, all that shit, and all that stuff.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I get
Didn't
it.
Garrison Keillor get busted for sexual abuse?
Sexual harassment. But the show's been off the air for at least a year, maybe 2 years. But there is obviously, you know what? When you're driving something, video doesn't work for people that are running, biking, driving. Sometimes when you want to, this is the guy falling down the thing. This is great. He's doing ice.
Oh my.
The TV's on. Oh, that's great. I'm sorry. Let me recreate this. This is the show on ESPN, and they're showing this guy's coming out to his car. He's wearing dress shoes. He gets on his inclined driveway
on black sheet ice.
Black sheet ice. There's Luke. Luke just made it in there.
On black sheet ice. It's just going downhill.
His feet's moving like in those Warner Brother cartoons when they're trying to run away, and your feet are, feet don't fail me now. It's the worst thing in the world, I know, talking about. We shouldn't be watching television when we're talking. I don't know what I was talking about. I was talking about having a live band.
A live band.
And then being able to interact with them and stuff like that. And we are going to, you know what? I'm staying on the air, and we're going to do this. Since there's no one that really can take us off the air, unless another Keys bartender arises and tries to patent it. But I don't see that happening. But I wanted to bring up a story since we're the bartender and get back to the bartender spirit of this. And it's been a while since we had an interesting person come in. But recently, this past Monday, there was a woman walking down the road, and she's around my age. She looks a little older, but that's maybe just the... She actually took care of it. Not as hard a living as you think. I think the craziness thing made it a little older. She had hair, short hair. That she was clean. The hair was kind of spiky, like she might have been doing some electrical experiments. And she comes by our front door.
You get that from not washing it.
She comes by our front door. No. It's not like that. But comes out the front door and then walks all the way around the front, in between cars. There's parking spaces right up against the building, and she walks, instead of walking behind the cars, walks kind of like 1 foot space between the building and the cars to get to the back door. Comes in, orders a beer, and then she proceeds to tell me about her problems, and I kind of feel bad. Right? Okay, what are you going to feel bad about?
No, I don't feel bad.
Oh, no, okay. Well, she starts talking. I notice she's a little crazy. I don't want to kick her out or anything like that, so I'm listening to her. And she proceeds, I turn around, and the beer's gone. And I said, okay, she may have drank it. She may have thrown it in a trash can or something like that. Who knows? And I get her another one. And then she tells me more of her story, that she had a head injury, and she was going to her doctor. She's going to walk all the way home. Okay. And I said, well, if you had a head injury, you shouldn't have a drink, if you're doing that. She goes, well, I need to. It gives me a thing. And then I go, oh, my God. And then she starts talking about a bunch of stuff. She starts, she almost plants her face right in a customer's face, another woman's face, by accident. And then she knocks over a chair, and then while she's picking it up, she's ramming the chair in the lady's legs, the legs of the chair into her legs. And then she gets up and moves next to someone and starts taking crazy.
Yeah, no, that's
and she's
enough.
talking to me again. And all of a sudden, there's a wet spot near her feet where her bag was. And it turns out she took the open bottle of beer
and put it in her bag.
Put it in her bag standing up. And then when she knocked over a chair, she knocked over her beer. And I said, what are you trying to do? And she goes, well, I wanted to have a beer. I said, you said you want to have 2 beers. Why would you put the first beer in there so it'd be nice and warm when you went home and stuff like that? And take the last beer that you take and put it in the bag, and take it.
A little batshit crazy going on.
I know, a guy like that. And but she didn't seem that crazy. But she sounded, and then she goes, I'll have another. And so now the third, and she's not drunk or anything like that. And I don't want to kick her out. I'm just waiting for an opportunity. What tactic can I use to get her out? And this is where I'm going to get in trouble with a certain segment of people here. I'm going to make a revelation. For 7 years, Bill knew me and Luke knew me. I was sober, and I went to a group in the front of the phone book. That one that starts out. You could say it.
Oh,
you don't know it. Yeah.
I have to think about that.
And she says, she mentions it and says, hey, I went there, and those people are trouble, blah, 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 blah. And I go, are you kidding me? I said, I'm thinking in my head, she just handed me that. And I said, you went there? I went there 7 years. And I'm looking at her and said, you got a lot of problems now. You know what? If you knock this stuff out, what you're doing right here, you're going to feel a lot better. She says to me, you're not drinking? I said, I didn't say that. I said I went there for 7 years. I didn't say I wasn't drinking now. I'm talking about this lady that was coming acting crazy. I was in danger of her cleaning out my bar one by one. And I wanted to get her out without being rude. I wanted to get her out with being rude. I wanted to be understanding and kind. So here she goes. She starts talking about AA, and I go, whoa, there I am. I said, you know what? You gotta go back. You got all these problems. This is a place to fix your problems. And she goes, no, I won't go back. They're assholes, blah, blah, blah. And I go, no, they're not. I said, and then I go like this. I go over to her. I said, you need your higher power. And then she starts complaining. When she complains again and stuff like that, you need to talk to the sponsor. And she's looking at me like, as if I had a crucifix, it would be the power of Christ compels you. And I'm going like this. I'm going, you need your higher power. And she's, no, get it. And I'm ruining her. I'm ruining her drinking right there. I'm ruining it. And she goes running out the door. There was a Mexican guy who was running a lawn service here with his one of his employees, and she goes up and starts hitting him up for a ride and stuff like that, bothering the helper. And she ended up no, she's out there for a couple minutes, but she's out of this place where spilled beer and stuff like that. And I was thinking, I just performed a bar exorcism. I did perform it, and I've done it before, and a couple times I did it. So you got me thinking about how I've driven out other demons. And there was the overly drunky, flirty woman that comes in that you don't find attractive at all. And even if you did find attractive, I'm married, I got a kid, I'm not doing anything with. If they're like over amorous, what am I going to do with? I know I'm one of those crazy.
Handshake.
Oh no, I'm
handshake.
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 Handshake. What's a handshake?
Handshake. Hey, watch your hand, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Handshake.
So, no. Well, what I do is I start showing pictures of my family and shit like that, and start, I'll just lay into her like that, and just show all the great, and just like harsh her buzz. She'll go like this, and I go, oh no, this is my wife, and I love her very much. Blah, blah, blah. And then
there's a local professional down here who I will not name, who has a bad habit of coming up to me and my wife and putting her hand directly on my ass. And I'm like, hey, you remember my wife?
Hey, you know what? Cupping a guy's ass is not as bad as cupping his balls, but you can't cup a woman's ass.
No.
And I don't think there's ever a time when I was all right, unless it's your girlfriend and stuff like that. And it's one. Okay, and then there's another one. There's guys that come in. It doesn't matter. And it could be on the left and the right. If someone comes in.
Oh, Mr. Politics?
Mr. Politics comes walking in, he starts doing it, and he start, they got some. I'll just go right in. You know what? You can, if you want to keep them here, go anti, right? But if they're kind of middle of the road and they're saying, well, I need him to shake it up and stuff like that, what you need to drive them out is become the worst possible backup for them as you can. You know what I mean? The worst possible backup. You're most horrible and say, like, so if this current guy that's in the White House, you be the white supremacist Nazi guy. And the guy says, I'm a big supporter of him, too. Oh, my God, we talk about it at our Klan meetings. Oh, I did. Oh, it's supposed to be a secret. You want to come? You want to come to the Klan? Obviously, you're one of the. You're like me, and the guy looked like it. Come on. Are you Jewish? And that'll drive the guy out and go like this and go, come on, wink, wink. We know what it's all about, right? And that'll drive the guy out. Now, if everyone knows me here, that doesn't work. But it does work early on when they come in and say, hey, do you like the guy? And I go, yeah. And then if they're real super, I'm kind of progressive, but if they're super liberal, I'll just pretend like I'm a Stalinist or a Pol Pot supporter. I say, oh, get the fuck away from me. And then you got the jerky married Don Juans that come in and hit on the girls. Right? They're coming on vacation. They're business guys, and they'll talk to the girls and stuff. And the girls say, you know what? If girl's big enough to handle it,
want to score some local booty.
Yeah, if they want to score, but if the girl's a nice girl and the guy's kind of like doing that, I just tell them what I do. This is foolproof. I say, these cameras right there, they're live cams. We post them on our website. And it's a live feed from Key Largo. And I said, if you could tell me, you told me, and you find out where, you ask them first where they're from. And I said, and I know your name, so I can put it on Facebook. I can feed our thing here to it, and you can see, and it'll drive them right out.
There you go.
That'll drive them out of the place, because any bad behavior they do inside the bar, I say, we have live feeds here and live feeds in the back.
I've seen some really crappy things happen to crappy people at bars that were being fucking unbelievably just assholish and fucked up.
If they were assholes and fucked up, all I have to do is get the fuck out.
Well,
That's
see-
fine. If they're horrible people,
No, I've seen people miss the first step at the Caribbean Club like 3 times running.
well, sometimes that's it's not sad.
And
Well,
I've
no,
also
that's-
seen
no,
them
that-
show their
that was
ass so
assisted.
bad, and we have to throw them out.
I know.
And then they go out and stand in the middle of the highway trying to get a ride and end up getting flattened.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying is.
There's some really just stupid fucking people in the world.
But
bad drinkers, man.
I'm talking about the people that aren't in that kind of position where you'd go up to them and just say, you know what? Show them the door. Get the fuck out.
Well, the thing is with all the bipolar disorders and all that shit, man, I really hate to be mean to people, but sometimes there's just no...
I know they do flip. It's like flipping a switch. Remember that guy I showed the food? You ever hear the story?
What?
Guy ordered food. He was a nice guy.
Right.
A little guy. He was like... He's like 5'6", maybe all 130, and he ordered some food. And he was talking. He was taking care of his sister because his sister came down to take care of their ailing mother.
Oh,
And he went,
dude, that one.
yeah, and this guy Russ, one of our regulars, was right
He
here.
went like 0 to psycho in 2 seconds, man.
And it turned around. Well, you heard my voice. I my switch. When someone starts yelling, my flip.
Dude, and
he
a little
flip my switch.
backstory there. Russ is one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet.
Yeah. Russ comes up, and Russ goes. And Russ is a nice guy. Russ goes when I'm bringing the food up. He goes, he said to the guy, "You better check that order because sometimes they get it wrong," which is right. When we're busy, we get it wrong. So I was on the thing. I opened it up. I thought it was. I thought it was Russ. Russ was ordering. I thought it was Russ checking out the food. And I go, here it go. And the guy starts yelling, why are you showing that guy my food? And I go, I'm sorry. Whoa, I got confused. I'm sorry. And then he went on from there. He went further and further and further. The voice got louder, louder, louder. And then I'm looking at him and saying, okay, stop. And the second time he said, come on, please stop. And the fourth time I said, Merlot. The fourth time I said, now you're in danger of not getting your food. And he kept on going. I said, you're not getting your food now. And finally, the owner came around to talk to him and stuff like that. But I mean, he was screaming at me. And then I said to the and then I said, listen, you can't do that. When someone apologizes, you can't do that. He goes, you know what? I can always call your son. I'm going to call my son. And I said, sir. And guy was 10 years older than me. So his son was probably like in his early 40s. I'm 54. But I've met plenty of guys in their mid-20s that could kick their ass. And I said, sir, do you really, unless you meant 2 sons, you don't really want to embarrass that yourself by doing that. So I said, because I will kick both your asses if you do that. And that gets me even more angry. So don't make me indignant. And that guy did that. He went after that. I don't have a problem with someone, when they threaten you and things like that. It's like a prison, right? If you fall back when someone's threatening you, you're a punk. And they're going to get you the next time. Right?
I usually don't get fucked with.
No. Every once in a while, Luke will get a heckler, and he's really good about disarming them with humor.
Well, you're right. You got the power of the microphone. Yeah. And you are, as a musician, you have the groups.
Yep. And
you have,
and it's amazing because, and I'm very lucky and fortunate, like Bill is as well. People down here have known us so long,
yep.
And they know who we are. And if they see somebody trying to abuse us,
somebody will usually step right up,
right in and say, "Hey, fuck you, man."
I know. Well,
and it's really it's really nice to be in a community where everybody loves you that much, as opposed to he's a dick.
I'm getting a real big delay right now. Yeah. Just take the headphones on. Okay. So okay. Well, from the bar, it's a different perspective when you see that, when you hear someone doing
bullying in the bar. I hate
Yeah, they
that.
were bullying. You got to shut it down there, and you can't allow other people to do it because it's as if you're the sheriff. The sheriff can't allow anybody else to enforce the laws of the town. When there's no bouncer, you're in effect
The bouncer.
the bouncer and the authority in there. And if it's a regular and it's someone like I had a problem with older guys and stuff like that come in and stuff like that, and I don't feel as if I need to because they're one hand tied behind my back, one leg tied behind my back. I'd say here you can talk to the owner. But when someone really belligerent, I can't turn it over to one of the ladies here.
Nah.
You can't do it. And you got to handle it right then, and you got to hope that they don't come back. And you try not to. And that's the bar exorcist job. Try to make it. And I said there's a way to do it where you're not threatening them, you're not shaming them. You're creating an atmosphere where they know and they go, oh my God. If you're ashamed of your drinking, you talk about AA. If they hate religion, talk about God.
There you go.
And have you found Jesus? Talk to
Invite
Jesus.
the synagogue.
Listen, not that you're annoying, but if someone says, "Oh, that bullshit religion stuff," and that, I would. Oh my God! I said, you know what?
Luke, go right with them.
I'll go. No, they hate. I know, but no. If they're an asshole and they hate religion, and I want to get rid of them, but they're otherwise, I think they're insulting people and they're annoying, but they're not intentionally mean. Where you go to get the fuck out? I'll just go. Listen, can I witness you, or I'll make whatever. I'll make up something and just say, listen, I made it my. Here, if it was you, I would go, sir. I made it my life's purpose to bring people to the Lord. Would you allow me to witness to you? And I just talk to him. Whatever he said every time he give you, I'll bring you a beer, and every time I do it, let me witness to you. Let me reveal God's beauty to you. And that guy said, I cannot fucking take this. And he'd get out. You got rid of someone without insulting them, and all they can say, and they'll go to someplace else. My God, the guy at the bar there. And they go like that, and they go, he's nuts, or he's Jesus freak. And they won't even know it's me. Especially a local crazy you don't want to have in here. You want to make sure that they're not in here, but you don't want to humiliate them either.
Well, you guys don't get the amount of legacy drunks that you used to get when the Catch first opened up. Because this for years was quite the place. They had a 6 to 9 happy hour.
And we call it the Parasite Lounge.
They had a 6 to 9 a.m. happy hour.
And they
had
And they had the 4 to 7 a.m. crack party
wait a
out
second.
back.
Yeah.
On a Saturday afternoon when I was single and stuff like that, holy shit. There's nothing better I would rather do, I swear to God, than get up in the morning, work out a little, and spend the whole day bullshitting with my friends. But I had to keep myself somewhat sober so I can talk to a lady.
This was a serious drinking crowd at 6 o'clock in the morning down here.
You're talking about a guy that was in AA for 7 years. So how serious a drinker do you think I was?
Yeah, probably. Might have been known.
Think about the amount of drinking a guy like me would have to do.
There you go.
Have to do to decide to be sober for 7 years. Think about it.
I made it a year and a half a long time ago.
No, but I mean, see how much I really enjoy it.
I do as well.
And now, moderation, my God.
Moderation in all things, especially
and
moderation.
Enjoying it, and just go like this. Well, no, there's really, I detest a hangover. I like a nice little buzz and stuff like that. I realize that with the laws now, I can't drive with that on there, and I enjoy it. I do. I really enjoy it. And you know what? There's reason why we do it that way. We did talk originally when the show started 40 episodes ago. Oh, the pre-episodes that aren't even on. We talked about the history of liquor. Wine and beer was 1/3 or 1/4 of the strength that it is now. Actually, 1/5 of that, probably 1/5 to 1/7. The alcoholic
Well,
drinks.
I don't
were
know,
very
man. This is pretty much the same stuff.
No, mead.
Well,
I mean,
back in
mead
the-
was really weak.
And
well, I'm
back
talking about
in
Bud
the
Light. It's
ancient
really weak,
times,
too.
they mostly distilled it not to make it alcoholic, but to preserve it.
There was no distillation.
because they had the
Distillation didn't
grains.
happen till like 1500s and 1600s.
No, they put the alcohol in there so the water wouldn't kill you.
Yeah. Well, it was accidental. They came across alcohol accidentally when liquid got in the grains. And fermentation.
Fermentation.
that
Yeah, they would
Fermentation occurred when
ferment
they were
it
starting out of
to preserve their food.
Next thing
Yeah.
you know, you see a
Because
bunch of drunk
you only
rats
got
running
to
around.
harvest grains like once a year, so it was you would make bread out of some of it, and then the rest of it, if you tried to store it, either the rats or the mold would get to it, so
Yeah.
they would ferment it into beer. But it was mostly for food.
Rats still could probably like beer.
I've seen drunk rats. Actually, one of the
Yeah.
funniest things I remember seeing is
Squirrels and all that stuff when they eat fermented
Squirrel
fruit.
get drunk as shit. Dude, I used to go down to Rotan all the time and go dive down there. And they got all these iguanas and they got these little berry trees and the berries ferment on the trees and fall down. You got iguanas eating these things that are so hammered.
Oh,
Dude,
you know what's
they're
funny?
trying to take 2 steps, they just fall
And
over.
we meandered off the Bar Exorcist, which we will come back again because there'll be other stories in the future. And you imagine iguanas? We went through a little cold spell, and we don't like to talk about it. But it was a little cold spell for down here. Well, it was for down here. It was a cold spell where we reached, what was it? 60 was the high.
No,
It was in
man,
the
and one
50s,
day
man.
it was it didn't get more than 58, and it got all the way down.
I played Cape Coral on Monday. It was 44 degrees. I played Cape Coral on Tuesday. It was 37 degrees.
Okay. No, but
It
we're in the
was
Keys.
cold.
We're talking about the Keys. But once you get off on the mainland and stuff like that, all bets are off. Because, when you go
My
up
ass
56
was
miles, they
frozen.
had some freezing, that snow up in St. Petersburg and stuff like that. But down here, let's say the high was 58. It's nothing compared to the negative
But it
0
was
degrees.
windy and it sucked. Oh no, it doesn't compare.
Doesn't
but
compare
it
to
sucked.
that. But what happens when you have that 58 degrees?
Nobody wants
is
to
these reptiles go dormant. They go hibernating, right? You got any feedback? Can I?
They call it brumation.
Okay. What? No feedback?
No, we're good.
Instead of hibernation, it's called brumation.
Okay.
And that's what the alligators do when up in North Carolina and stuff. When it's freezing, they stick their snout out of the water.
Well, right here,
And
what
they leave their body underneath.
when it drops at night, you start hearing it. You hear these things. It's not coconuts. They're iguanas falling out of the tree,
Yeah.
right? And one guy contacted someone from. We talked about this. Were you here for the SPCA?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, my buddy Jose filled up a van full of those things, and then they started coming alive again.
Yeah, they do. When they warm up, they start coming alive. But the person from the SPCA, it turns out that when it's an invasive species,
They don't give a crap.
They don't really care. And they
like-
say, you know what? They taste
cut
like
'em up.
chicken, and they're herbivores. Right?
For the most
They're
part, yeah.
herbivores. And then I said, wait a second. For the most part, you just said, now this is where I had a discussion. What makes an herbivore? Because today I had salad, fruit. I had some bacon, sausage, eggs. But most of
You're
the
an
food I
omnivore.
ate was plant vegetation.
Yeah,
Does
no.
that make me an herbivore?
No, you're an omnivore.
Okay,
You-
why
you
aren't
ain't
they an omnivore? Because they eat lizards and eggs.
They don't eat lizards.
Iguanas eat little lizards.
Hell no.
They don't.
Straight up vegetation, man.
They eat eggs.
Well, everything eats eggs.
Not everything. Isn't that a non-vegetable item?
That's
not herb.
That's opportunistic.
Well, Jesus Christ, a
Eggs
steak is
have a
not
lot of protein in them, man.
Yeah,
Most
exactly.
creatures like eggs, like fish roe, you know.
Well, what I'm just saying that makes it like
I
it's
don't-
like those. Okay, so let me
I don't
liken
even
this.
know if they
Let
eat eggs,
me
man.
liken this to someone that's a. You ever heard of Promise Keepers?
No.
Oh, this is great. It's a evangelical Christian movement.
Crazy fucking people.
Yeah, and what the Promise Keepers do is you don't have sex until you're married.
Oh, that
But
bullshit.
what you can do
Anal
is
all
suck
day, all
dick,
night.
anal, and all that stuff. And these kids in camps, they get STDs. They're having all kinds of butt sex going on, all this other stuff. But as long as it's not coitus or vaginal sex, or it doesn't matter. So you have guys. You have guys experimenting with guys because they want to stay a virgin.
butthole's a butthole.
Butthole's a butthole, right? And they go and do it. So, are they still virgins?
Not by my definition, but
technically a virgin. Technically a virgin, isn't it?
I don't know.
No, it isn't. It's like the herbivore things.
Once somebody else plays with it, you're not a virgin anymore, man.
Once someone plays with your...
Once you do it with somebody else, doesn't matter which hole, you're not a virgin anymore.
What if you... are you a virgin if you fucked your stuffed animal?
Well, yeah, because it's got to be at least something alive and hopefully human.
How about your German Shepherd?
No, man. That's against the
line.
law, man.
Wait a second. You didn't say against the law. You know, in some states, it's against the law that it's premarital sex is against the law. Still.
Some states.
Utah, I think Utah, there's probably some.
Georgia,
that's considered.
I think Georgia changed that one. They still got the sodomy laws on the books.
Sodomy laws, yeah.
Yeah, but the guy got arrested
if you
for
suck
eating his old lady's
your
pussy.
boyfriend's dick, I'm not saying you have a boyfriend, but if you did, that would be against the law.
Well,
It's
that's
against
just
the
antiquated
law.
bullshit, man.
It's against the law. What is
Yeah.
It's against the law.
No, but there's always an exception. There's always an exception?
Well, the age of consent, that's another gray area, you know.
Oh, what do you mean gray area?
The farther
What
you
do you mean
go
gray area?
into the Appalachians, the younger the age of consent
Well, I
becomes.
know, but it's right. Listen, humans live to what, 80 now?
No, we're actually losing years now.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're not going to lose that many. Let's say...
Okay,
let's
we'll call it 80 for the sake of
let's call it
discussion.
18.
Let's call it 80.
18.
Is that too high? Oh, my God. Did I go too high?
Well, for the
Hey, are
age
you
of
going to go...
consent.
Are you think you're going to see any... Are you think you're going to have an opportunity if you were free right now? I mean, I don't even think, that I would have the opportunity without paying.
It's a sliding scale. The older I get, if I look at a cute little 18 to 20-something-year-old, I'm like, oh, my God.
I see
Put
a
some
child.
clothes on, woman.
I
You're
see a
embarrassing
child.
me.
Oh, there's Russ. Hey, Russ, you brought your name up on the podcast. It was good.
There's
It
Russ.
was good. It wasn't insulting, okay? Really? Yeah. It was good.
I know.
That you were a witness to some craziness, that's all. Oh, yeah.
He's seen a little bit crazy once or twice.
He's one of our backcountry fisherman guys here. He's awesome. He goes both. He goes to the Oceanside and the Bayside. That's what he meant. He put it out there. And not that there's anything wrong with it. You know, we are in the Keys.
Yes.
And we are open to that. So what we were talking about, age.
Oh, no.
The
it's
sliding scale.
Sliding scale, man.
Well, and
like I
the
said,
thing
if I see a 21, 18-year-old walking around and damn near nothing, I'm like, well, then put some clothes on. I appreciate that, but really...
You know, have you ever watched the coming-of-age movies, man? The minute you hit puberty, your whole goal in life becomes to stick your dick
Oh, yeah, in something.
in some gorgeous girl, or if you're a guy or whatever you're into.
I don't want to be the first mistake. Yeah.
You know,
wait,
so-
did that guy say
so-
that in Police Academy?
So if two
The
I don't want to be the
commissioner?
first mistake.
No. He said it. He said you're going to be with a really hot girl or guy.
There you go.
And he's talking to guys.
Right.
Okay.
And at any rate, you know, so experimental sex, man, that's just
Brings you
part of
back to the German Shepherd.
that's natural part of growing up,
There you
man.
go.
It brings me back to the German Shepherd.
Well, only if you're twisted and live in the country do you fuck something non-human.
Daddy.
How about someone? Okay, is it because of the intelligence level?
No, dude,
It's
the only
boredom
thing around's
level.
a sheep.
And
it-
there's no girls
No, is
out
it
there.
intelligence? Is it the intelligence level?
No, seriously,
not always.
if the only thing around's a sheep, sheep start
There's
looking
nothing
pretty damn
else.
good,
You don't
man.
see any girls. You know, there's
So wait,
none
wait,
at your
wait.
school. You get bored. You're a kid. It's like apple pie, you know.
Dude, there was I worked
never-
at this restaurant, and
I've never considered fucking warm apple pie, but then again, I was lucky enough to grow up around plenty of girls.
There you go.
I told this story once again. There was this young Cuban fellow that worked there, and he used to think it was endearing to women when he would go up and tell them about his lovemaking abilities, but he also would throw into them that he has had sex with a chicken. And for whatever girl he was talking to, he thought that was a deal maker.
I remember certain communities up around where I grew up where that was not necessarily a turnoff for the girls.
A live chicken.
They expected a little that everybody had a little bit of farm animal sex.
No, but a chicken?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can fuck a chicken, dude. I grew up on a farm. There ain't much on the farm you can't fuck.
Well, can you make can you make something that
Why? That's why God gave you sheep.
Farmers can't afford peel pocket pussies, man.
No, but there's plastic out there, and you can put jelly.
Yeah, it costs money.
Yeah, that's why God gave you sheep.
Okay, guys, this is the reason why when
It's the poor
we
man's
had this
porn
discussion,
shop,
there's a friend
man.
of ours, Bill and I's Van, who wants to come on the show and talk about the and Van. I tell you, Van would not participate. He would be offended.
I don't think he would be offended.
I think he would be offended.
I do believe he is much more open-minded than you give him credit
I know,
for.
but he was emphasizing the Southern gentleman takeover, and I don't think it would emphasize the gentleman part. It would emphasize this. I do
And I
now
believe.
you have to say, see you, Dan.
I
I
do
would have to
believe he
say
would be just fine.
there are just as many deviants north of the Mason-Dixon line as there are south. Let me
Yeah,
state that first.
especially up in Canada, man.
I know Cuban rednecks.
No, I'm just saying.
Seriously.
You're agreeing.
Well, he does.
Well, what Bill's doing is agreeing with me.
Yeah.
But what I'm suggesting, I'm
No,
not talking
there's
rednecks. I'm
rednecks
talking
everywhere.
deviants. Rednecks is a kind of, I guess that's a city versus farm. Pastoral. I think
I
a
don't
pastoral.
care. I don't care what language you say it in. If you're going, hey man, hold my beer and watch this. You might be a redneck.
Okay. Listen to this. It'd be someone, oh, pardon me, will you hold my martini while I go? That's the same thing.
Dude,
Some
exactly.
stupid thing they did. And the British did it during the 17 and 1800s. I mean, not that they were drinking martinis then. I think the martini was invented in like
Trust
the
me. Well,
1920s.
the Scots are basically British rednecks.
Oh, no, the Australians aren't.
No, the Scots. But the
I
Australians.
think
pretty
Australians,
good,
Alabama, the world. They said.
I love.
I think it pretty much is.
I love hanging out with the Aussies. They're so much fun.
No. Well, wait. It's. I don't know why we got to this point. And I apologize for that. Not that I apologize, but we were talking about the iguanas and the Virgin Promise Keepers. Before we wrap up the show, I want to mention something that's pertinent to the Keys. Since we don't have any new Keys stories, anything new that came up, anything weird, something that happened.
No weirder than normal.
No?
Just standard Keys weird.
Okay. Well,
It was mine and the old lady's
18th anniversary?
wedding. Yeah,
Well, there you
on
go.
Monday, and
Well,
I
congratulations.
hear people asking you, how did you make 18 years?
She hadn't shot me yet.
it really hasn't.
Liquor and anal sex.
It really hasn't felt like 18 years, man. And when I think about that, I'm like,
What's that mean? Long or shorter?
no, it just didn't feel that long. And then I realized, wow, man, our oldest cat is 16 years old. We got her after we've been married a couple of years. We got our oldest cat, and she's 16 and still frisky, acts like a kid.
Oh, she's a cutie.
There was a comedian that said that's how they measured your length of your life by the amount of dogs you had. And then you always get a new dog and all that stuff.
You always get a new dog.
So you're looking at your marriage as it wasn't
Cat
that hard.
lives.
It's only a couple years after we're married. I got my cat, and the cat's still alive.
Yeah.
Cat's still doing good. Frisky,
Cat's still
eats
alive.
well.
The marriage is still doing good.
I mean,
You know
everybody
what? I
has
see
their
very
ups
little-
and downs, man. But
What it means, at least from the outside, I see very little outward conflict. So that's all we know.
Our biggest
That's all we know.
Our biggest conflict is we only have one commode in the house, and we're on identical schedules. And
shitting time?
and I like
You
to
shit in the
read
morning?
when I'm on the shitter, man. Well, I shit whenever I have to. It's just with only
you
one
don't-
shitter, I don't get to enjoy
your
my
45 minutes.
Yeah,
You can even we're professionals. You know what? Recently, the last after
I just sat in there so people leave me alone.
I know, but after the New
Dude,
Year.
no, it's a family affair at my house.
I mean, all my animals come in.
You mean if you're taking a shit, Sandy can walk in?
No. She's not going to walk in, but she'll talk to me through the closed door. And then I'm going to have at least 3 cats in the bathroom with me.
Yeah, all the animals
man.
come
They're all
in.
gonna be
That
hanging
is
out.
not
And the
something
dog.
I want to be talking to somebody when I'm doing that.
Oh, no, she's asking me, where'd you put this? Where'd I put that?
Okay. Well,
Cat scratches
we
the door,
have a
I gotta
really
open the door
big
so the cat can
bathroom.
come
for
in.
the last 3 days, I really curtailed my carbohydrates, and I've been eating a lot of vegetables. So and normally and since I work out, everything moves pretty quick. Usually it takes me about 2 minutes. Hey Janelle, hey, is this Monster right here? That's the dude. Hey, I heard about him.
Hey, sweetheart.
How you doing, man? I'm Jim. Nice to meet you. Yeah. You know what? She said a lot of nice things about you.
All right.
Jax?
I would love a stuff.
Jack, okay. I heard. You're from Boston? Ohio? Okay. I'm from Philly. Nice to meet you, man. So, yeah. Hey, from the gym, man. Yeah. Big dude, man.
Looks like the gym guy.
Yeah. Wait, one of my workout friends at the gym. Here we go. But what was I talking about? Okay, so I cut back the carbs, raise my what was I talking about, Kat? Cut back my carbs. So when I go in there, a minute and a half, man. A minute and a half. And it's liberating. Not that. I have other things I need to do. I need to shower, I need to get up.
That's
my
right.
Hair, and you know what? My hair's the longest thing now.
That's why I leave my iPad in there. That way I can do my banking and all that.
Yep.
And
pull it up.
You know what? You got to watch out.
Email.
If you're sitting on a can too long, you get like a blood clot in your leg.
What? Like I'm not sitting on the couch too long?
Oh, you got to move around, man. You got to move around. You know?
I do. My animals run in and out all the fucking time. They keep me up and down all day, every day.
I'm going to try to. I don't know. I'm going to try to motivate these guys to go and come with me. I would love to motivate them to come with me and work out. Thank you.
If you're talking about going to a spin,
Pam's one of our stalwart
if you're trying to get me to go to a spin
servers
class
here and managers at the Catch. She just gave us coasters. We are set.
We are.
Right now, hey, Luke, just so you know, we're not talking about dates or anything. You're talking about the places you perform, but not the days or when. Just say, name the place you perform, name a website or name that you're at, place you're at. We're trying to make this place, trying to make it timeless. So we're not talking about dates. We're not talking about months and all this because episodes
here
are
comes
episodes.
a beer. I'm looking at the beer coming over here towards
Bar
us. Thank you so much, Pam.
episode.
We certainly do appreciate that.
Where are you? Pilot House?
Got some fantastic
Caribbean
people
Club?
up here.
Gilbert's.
Gilbert, you're here at the Catch sometimes.
The Catch.
And listen, and Luke Summers had the way. You got a Facebook page? Do you have a website?
No.
No.
You don't have a website?
No.
Okay.
I don't know how to do any of that
We
shit,
talked about
man.
that.
Okay, guys. If you're going to share us
I'm
with
a
a friend, and you're going to
word-of-mouth
find
guy.
us with Luke, and you will, if you need to contact to find out where Luke is, what we'll do is we'll start posting his schedule. I think we're going to start sharing the Key Billy's and Luke's schedule on the show.
I do have something on Facebook, but I don't run it. It's the Luke
his
Summer
wife
Glenn
does that.
page.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, okay.
Well,
So
and I think there's an Uncle Smokey page on the Facebook, but I don't run
are
it.
you Uncle Smokey?
It was just going to be the name of the band, like Pink Floyd. By the way, which
like
one's
that name.
Pink? But see,
No, I understand, but you are Smokey.
Uncle Smokey. That's what my
No, that's a true enough. Uncle Smokey.
my
That is
nephew-
a great name
my
for you.
niece and nephews came up with that because I was always smoking weed.
There
Yeah,
you
no
go.
shit.
Imagine
I knew
that.
that. Bill and I pretty much knew that when you said that. Right? We're going, this pretty much suits you really well.
That's okay. But Luke
You know
had
what?
the-
I'm with you though, Luke. I'm not looking down on you. I'm a big believer in this stuff.
Luke had quite the epiphany a couple weeks ago.
What? Oh yeah, with the drying out. And
No.
so on. Oh, did I tell you I got CBD oil?
Oh yeah,
I got it in the mail.
Oh, did you? Oh, good.
Yesterday. CBD, and you know what? I think it does work for anxiety and stuff like that. It doesn't. There's no THC in it. I don't know how legal it is or anything like that, but it doesn't
it's
get you
supposed
high.
to be legal.
What?
It's supposed to be legal.
It's mostly legal. I want to get back to this. So we're trying to make this timeless. I want to get back to the Keys bartender. If you like the show and you want to be a supporter of the show and you want to participate in it.
Oh, and I play the Big Chill in Gilbert's.
Okay, this is
And if you come into town, you stop at just about any bar and ask where I am, and somebody will know.
I'm going to say at the end, too, please contact us if we're in the area. And we'd love to have you on as a guest on the show. Sit in the audience. If you have any questions, send us an email and stuff like that. We'll tell you where Luke and Billy are playing. Bill are playing. I keep on calling him Billy. I don't know why. Because I by my friends, I'm called Jimmy. My good friends call me Jimmy. People that know me well call me Jim. Women that are sexy call me James. I love that. But once again, you go to the website www.keysbartender.com. It's the easiest thing to remember because the Keys Bartender Show. I own the domain keysbartender.com. They'll have links to Patreon. There's different levels of sponsorships. I know it's hard to conceive right now, but I will get this. We're going to have T-shirts. We're going to have other items. But if you become a conch or a manatee for multiple, I know, a conch or a manatee, that's what I call them, level of sponsorships. You like it?
Oh, you got to use a crocodile too, man.
The crocodile is going to be level 3. We're going to get you T-shirts, and you're going to be able to submit requests for opportunities to do what the subject is on the show, and I will research it, and I'll write it out for you. But you can, if you're not interested in doing a financial thing, that's fine. You can also show your support by liking us on Spreaker, giving us a review on iTunes, sharing the podcast with your friends and family. All you have to do is go to www.keysbartender.com and please contact us. Go to the website, www.keysbartender.com, and send us an email if you're going to be in the area. We're at the Catch on Wednesdays.
Especially if you want to contact us in an impure manner. That would be great.
You know what? Luke has been touched so many times by people. And so many
I get violated a lot, man. I really do.
So many times.
When Luke says that person touched them, it's usually in an impure manner.
I
love you guys.
I've had my nuts cupped many times.
Oh, yeah. By women and men. And that's sweet.
That is okay. That's awfully nice.
Actually, the older I get, the more chicks hit on me, and it amazes me. These young girls will hit on me, and I'm like this old ugly motherfucker.
You're not ugly at all. What are you talking about? You got it.
You
got a gravitas.
They think my beard is sexy, man. Yeah. I remember when people used to, you look like a biker trans. You hillbilly trans.
That's still uncomfortable. So you get some 18-year-old girl walking up going, oh, your beard is in there.
I got to touch
it. Can I touch it? Sure.
I got to end the show with this. This is going to be the saddest part. Today at the bar, there were 2 guys that were in their 50s. I don't think they're going to. I never told them about the show, so they're not going to tell. I imagine they're gay because they left a phone number on their napkin that I picked up. And I thought they were kind of conservative, but it turned out they were kind of gay heading down to Key West and left a phone number.
So I can't tell you the last
time it amazes me how many gay Republicans there are.
Dude.
Well, wait a second. I didn't want to say that. I'm not saying the Republicans are not.
No, we talked about that a few shows ago.
Man,
every time somebody gets busted in the gay bar, there's some weird fucking Republican senator that's trying to ban same-sex marriage.
Okay, I can't believe I got to be the moderation on this. Bill's a libertarian. I'm more like Luke. I'm a progressive Democrat. But I realize that closeted gay people run in both parties, probably a little more closeted in Republican because they're trying to push a more fundamental
moral agenda. They're trying to legislate morality, which I always find humorous.
Just like a racist could be a Democrat who's a progressive,
The racists used to be Democrats years ago.
No, I know. I'm just saying that's just the way, and we understand that.
It's really funny how the parties have flip-flopped, man. The party of Lincoln is more democratic than...
We don't necessarily want to end on a political...
No. It's just recreational conversation. What the fuck do I know?
This is nothing political. This is just observations about how screwed up politics are in general.
Don't let this affect you guys for supporting us on Patreon. Remember, you can find links to Patreon going to Patreon and looking for Keys Bartender. Or going to www.keysbartender.com for links to Patreon. Patreon is an opportunity
for... How do you spell that?
Patreon.
Patreon.
And people can give you money.
People can give us money.
Oh,
we haven't had that yet. Once we do that, Luke, my idea, and I told this to Bill, I want to have a band backing up for a show. It'd be ideally... you'd have to be mic'd up. If you were running the band, you'd have to be mic'd up.
Yeah.
But you'd be running the sound. You'd both be running the sound and the band. But we'd have to be in here But the band would only play during the breaks. We wouldn't be playing while we're talking. So we'd be able to do it.
Oh, that's going to be a wreck, man.
I know, we'll do it. We don't want to bring another band in.
You're going to get a bunch of drunk musicians hanging around falling down.
No. But I got two drunk musicians right here. I don't need two new drunk.
Hey, I'm also stoned, man.
Oh,
That's all
there you
right.
go.
But I'm not going to get two new drunk musicians. I got two drunk musicians that know the pacing of the show.
We actually do have a few songs in common in the right key, if I can remember them.
No. What I'm suggesting is but we can do. We don't need a ton of it. We don't need a ton of. We only need like
a little bit of shit.
We need 3 or 4, and then whatever band goes on afterwards, whatever band goes before, and that's what we're going to do. I think it's going to work out for us. We're going to move the show.
There you go.
The show. We're going to bring the show on the road. We're going to be a family. It's going to be fun. It'll be like the Ruth Carter show. I'm Ruth Carter, or the Carter family. I'm the head of the Carter family.
That would have been.
You've obviously never been around on my family functions.
You know what? I would hang out. I can work. I work with everyone. I'm perfectly fine.
When you say it'll be just like family, that doesn't give us good connotations.
Well, I mean, imagine what a happy family is.
Happy family. There
what
you
a
go.
happy family is. People you want to mediate with and enjoy because you haven't lived in the same household. This is what it's like being with Luke and Bill. You're happy to make accommodations to these guys because you know what? They're friends, and friends are by choice, not by birth. So you're going to do those things that you need to do, right? You know what I'm saying? If you like somebody, you're going to do what you need to do, and we're not forced to do it for blood. You understand? It's like people kill for blood and all that stuff.
Yeah, no.
But you know what? Friends are friends. And that's the nice thing about it.
What's the old song? You can choose your friends, but you can't choose family?
Yes, you can. You can choose your friend. And you know what? Once again, I'd like to thank everyone. I'm going to let these two guys sign off. This is Jim signing off, the Keys Bartender. I want to give you either one. Who wants to speak first?
Go on, Luke. Say something.
We got another cold front coming, so I'm kind of bummed about that. It fucked up all our gigs. So
oh, man.
I'm kind of sucking hind tit this week, man.
So that's good. Okay, Bill.
Yeah, it's not going to be that cold. It's only cold if you don't live down here.
I need to bump it in. This is one of the great things. Our crab guys here, folks. If anybody wants any crab, this is the guy. Stone crab guy comes walking in.
Man, I got
to butt in.
3 pounds.
This guy comes in. 3 pounds of crab.
3 pounds of crab
Stone
for
crab.
$30.
You can't get any cheaper right here.
$10 a pound.
It's cost $100 every place else. This is the guy to go and buy it from. He always sells out.
Yeah, 3 pounds for $30, man. $10 a pound on stone crab claw is fantastic.
Okay, we're not.
Oh, that is.
Well, thank you, guys. We all appreciate you listening. Thank you so much. This is Bill from the Keys Bartender. We're signing off. Thank you. Jim says thank you. Luke is saying thank you as well. Thank you all.
You should come down and eat some fresh seafood and drink some cold beers.
We're all going to toast to eating fresh seafood and drinking some cold beers. Thank you all very much. We appreciate y'all.
All righty.